Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all two of you ladies out there that love my content, are you listening? Today I'm bringing you guys a chill cast, a chill 2v2 cast at that. We're going to have Broodwich rocking his Plague Champion, and I don't actually know who this guy is. I think it might be Blood Rain, it might not be. I'm sorry if it's not. I'm just going to call him M. Just going to call him M, so I don't know who it is. He's going to be facing up against Valerio, or Valhera, close enough, you know. Playing as the Farseer. And this is Cry, playing as the FC. So I'm actually participating in a 3v3 tournament, which by the time this is uploaded, it's actually going to have ended. And in that tournament, I'm playing with Cry and Val. So I guess this was one of the days when they wanted a bit of practice and I wasn't available because I was too busy tryharding Total Warhammer 3 and getting wrecked. So here we are. Now, Farseer used her fleet of foot to rush forward and take the Garrison. I like that. The Garrison here is really central to these early engagements on this map. Runes of Argus. Bit of a... I don't even know what that was. I was going to say overextension, but not really. They weren't very overextended. They weren't very extended at all. However, they got wrecked, and so one Guardian is already down for Val. He's going to try and replace that. Nice special from the Farseer and backs off. Okay, Scouts securing the top quite well. Force Commander doing what he can to try and stall out on the mid, which is fair enough. Oh my god. A very all-in fight down at the bottom here, and the war boss goes down, but look at all these dead Banshees. Banshees get wiped as well, and the Farseer nearly goes down too. Not ideal for Valerio. So Scouts continuing to be very effective up on the top here, but it looks like the Heretics here are actually going to be quite potent. Pushing forward, getting a bit of a gem bash against Cry. And Cry does have some Devastators, but they're kind of going the wrong angle here. I mean, actually no, I think they can shoot up the stairs no problem. It's a bit unintuitive. Obviously, if this was real life, you set up here, you would be able to shoot something at the back here, but there's no problem in Dawn of War 2. Yeah, evidently not. So I think he should be fine. Oh nice, he actually kills the Plague Champion with some bolt pistol shots as well. And he is going to force off the Chaos player there. So a little bit of a bash, but not much, and I think owning these top 2 points is really, really helpful. Now, on the other side of things, there are no gens right now for the red team down here, whereas we have 2 gens for the blue team. The team has still got 2 gens up here as well, so blue team should be quite ahead in power. Actually, the grenade launcher Heretics can be extremely powerful on this map. You can position them like here, shoot over, behind the walls, and obviously they're anti-Garrison as well. Which is very important because there's a lot of Garrisons. I mean, look at this very annoying Garrison right here. Imagine you're playing as a red team, you put a Shuriken or any setup team inside this Garrison to push the gen farm. Crazy. Anyway, we've got another engagement here. Banshees charging in, used Fortune on them, the Farseer, giving them some extra damage resistance, 30% in fact. But they took a lot of damage there, running into double big shooters. Not ideal. Warboss chopping up a lot of Guardians there. Sluggers killing a fair few themselves. What's going on up top? Well, it looks like there was a bit of a sneaky bash there from some tactical flamers. And the Devastators there to back them up. We do see some grenade launcher Heretics as well. So I think that's going to be the end of this push from Cry, but very successful push, taking out both the generators. Ooh, infiltrated Scouts, getting the nade onto the Havocs, and that is a wiped Havoc squad. Cry trying to get into the Garrison there with the Devastators would be very effective were it not for those grenade launchers, and it just goes to show you the power of those grenade launchers. So Webwiggate's already coming up. Nice aggressive Webwiggate, I quite like that actually. No detector at the moment. Oh, spoke too soon. There is a detector now. So it might not last too long. And the secondary natural power is at this point completely decapped, so pretty bad situation actually for the red team. Especially when you consider that Cry has actually gone for ASM as well. We're talking a very heavy tier 1 at this point. And these Guardians really not getting a lot of value. I feel like every engagement they're getting absolutely wrecked. But not only are they getting wrecked, I just don't see them getting any value. I see a wiped Banshee squad here. My god, the Banshee's wiped, that's so bad. Val is getting absolutely murked by M. Big M dog. To be fair, M is actually kind of in a bad spot here as well. Slugger's now retreating out with very low HP, probably going to go... Oh, they could wipe completely here with attacks. Yes, they do. Okay, brilliant. So, M and Val are equally low on squads now, basically. M's going to commit to the tier 1, getting Stormboys next. Nice flank around from Cry here to get the gen farm bash down here. Obviously, he's already bashed the one up top, and that's not a full farm yet. So this is the primary source of income for the blue team, who already is starting to go tier 2, but at the very least, Broodwich is. Now, Broodwich seen this opportunity and trying to get a bit of a bash off himself, but a little bit shit, to be honest, because he's playing as the Plague Champion and just not really very fast. Nice nades on retreat there. A little bit mistimed with the second one, but great first nade. And even if it doesn't get any model kills, it's going to keep those CSM trapped in the base, having to wait to regen. See a little bit more Garrison abuse here. Might see a nade. Do see a nade. Doesn't do too much, just knocks over the war boss. Stormboys dodge it very nicely. They're going to probably force off the scouts at this point. Flamers seize the opportunity, get out again. Take out another generator. Guardians comes to support them and force off the war boss, who is actually being hit by the Mind War. He's taken down by that Mind War. Interesting ability, not one you see very often, to be honest. Ooh, Fortune on the Tactical Marines. Look how tanky these attacks are. Fortune. They already have melee resist. Crazy. Wow, and they can get the decap now. The Farseer ties up the British units. Very nice combo there. Don't think both these Guardians should be inside the Garrison. That's a bit of a waste. Yeah, they're going to come out now. So PC is going to rotate down, revive his buddy. Makes sense. But Farseer is kind of... yeah, she's biting off a bit more than she can chew there. Stormboy's doing really well here. Warboss gets up. Now his boss pulls active again. Gonna buff all these boys. Banshees are putting on a lot of pressure. Guardians might get wiped by the Stormboys of all things. Can you imagine that being wiped by Stormboys? Look at that, Ad boys on the Warboss, kind of baiting out the Banshees. Now the Banshees do get the wipe there on the Warboss, but obviously sacrificing their life, not very good in that instance. I mean, even if you had to repay the 250 wreck for that Warboss, it'd still be worth it to kill some Banshees, but of course he's not going to need to anyway. Look how close he is to the base. It's an easy revive. A poor play from Valerio. A little bit of skirmishing in the middle. You're going to see an extremely fast Blood Crusher. Red team, well, Val hasn't even started his tier 2 yet. Cry is about 40% of the way there. So there's going to be no counterplay to this Blood Crusher now. It'll be interesting to see what the Blood Crusher wants to do. The problem right now is that it seems the infantry army, well, it's not even an army really, is it? CSM Heretics, Shooter Boys and a Stormboy squad. 4 units between the two of them, that's pathetic. For that reason, looks like Broodwich is having to call the Blood Crusher back because Price Tactical Flames are once again putting pressure onto his gen farm. They don't have a lot of gens. Looks like the Orcs are getting the upper hand here in the melee engagements down at the bottom. Fresh Banshees, no XP at all. Level 2 Stormboys. So these Banshees can't even proc any specials against these Stormboys. How sad is that? Banshees with no specials is not the kind of Banshees that you want.
Your forces obey you.
feel like they should just be building the gens up here. I don't see any pressure from the team for a long time up in this area. It'd be much safer than trying to build them down this side and just inevitably having them get bashed. That said, red team probably should be focusing on this bottom area anyhow, as long as they don't lose that other farm, because they need to take out this gen farm down here. Blue team. See how it plays out. Blood Crusher's been doing okay, but honestly, the Blood Crusher's got really good DPS, but that's because it attacks really fast. The problem is its individual attacks, as you can see, really don't do that much. And what that means is if you stand and try and duel with a Blood Crusher, you will, well, you'll take a lot of DPS, right? But if you're fleeing from it, it doesn't actually do that much damage while it's chasing you. It's a very questionable position now for the Blood Crusher. Yeah, for the Emperor down and the missile attacks buffing the damage. They need to get out of there. Damage over time for the Plague Champion, really proving its value here. These missile attacks need to be quite careful. It's like the ASM tie up that Plague Champion instead though. He does have his Aura of Pestilence, so he's very tanky at this point. VPs are a bit of a problem for blue team right now, only less than 200 VPs already, and the red team has well over 400 VPs. Basically not really lost anything, the red team. That's the thing, as I said, no one's really pressured the top. I feel like that's been in the red team's hands basically all the game. That needs to change if the team want to win this. Okay, temporary suppression on the Devastators with aiming was that. Now a nice flank by the Chaos player, forces the devs off. The Banshees are going to charge in with the Farseer. A little bit isolated though, in fact very isolated. They're charging in on their own against like 6-7 units. Fighting a bit piecemeal here, the red team, and that's never ideal. You never want to fight piecemeal if possible. Scout's getting jumped by some Bloodletters here. Let's see if Christ spots it. He does. Quick to move away. Feigning an aid spike, but a pretty brutal flank there from all these gun units. Scout's obviously much easier to counter with ranged weapons than melee for this reason. So fast, can easily kite your melee. Can nade spike you. Do a melee resist. In comparison, they've got very low HP. They've only got light infantry armor, so shoot guns. Much easier to kill them. Okay. Death Dread forcing off the Farseer here. The lack of gens on the bottom side for the red team means that the Death Dread hasn't even opted for the burners and bits. Another attempted nade. Missed. ASM really lucky there that the Death Dread didn't proc special attack, to be honest. Wow, what a brazen player. We see Gate of Infinity with Librarian teleporting in the Tactical Marines that they've got for the Emperor on them as well. Librarian should be able to finish off this Death Dread. Quite a mistake actually moving the Librarian down here. What died? Was that the Banshees? Potentially. Looks like the Tactical Marines are still chasing the Death Dread with the Veil of Time on them. They're actually, oh my god. They were trying to kill it with the bolters, but in fact the Librarian snags it with Smite. Beautiful play from that Librarian. Okay, Bloodletter's kind of on their own at this point, to be honest. Not an ideal fight against Scouts, but at the same time, Scouts are not going to be able to cap while the Bloodletters were around. So they should just be stalling when they're out. Chaos Dreadnought is out on them at the moment though for Broodwich. That could change things for sure. Missile attacks, level 4. How the hell are they level 4 already? It's insane. What's going down bottom? Force Commander. Kind of surprised to see no upgrades yet on the Force Commander. I feel like he's been doing very well. Probably deserves some upgrades. Yeah, Vengeance rounds for the Devastators, just not really putting in enough value here. Probably gonna have to retreat them pretty soon. But for the Emperor missile attacks, it's a nice play. Look at that spike damage. Metal bomb going into. But double repairs are on. And there's not really any follow-up. Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines now fully upgraded. Plasma gun on the AC. Inferno bolters on the rest of them. Should be able to melt these tactical marines quite easily. The splash damage from the autocannon there, pressuring the Devastators, forcing them to retreat. What's going on bottom? We see some... Oh my god, there's a Seer Council. How did that happen? Val has somehow got to tier 3 and he has a Seer Council. He is adamant to beat the War Boss A-Zone game in melee. Even with 2 choppers, kind of dealing with the melee quite effectively there. I guess he did have Doom. He also has the Psychic Storm ability. Psychic Storm, really strange ability because it's a AoE damage spell and it really does quite a lot of damage. It suppresses it as well. It's very potent, but the really odd thing is it doesn't do any friendly fire, so if your troops are ever in a melee scrap, you can just drop that on your troops and yeah, it's going to do no damage to them, it's going to slaughter the enemy. Less than 100 VPs now for the blue team. They really need to hurry up. Looks like at last they're going to be able to secure the top. Yeah, Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines, even with the scouts taking the garrison, they're going to get wrecked. Now this would be a great pickup for the blue team if they can actually wipe these scouts out. I think the Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines will have enough damage. Maybe. I don't know. I think... Oh no. They've got out. Looks like the Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines had to reload. A very unfortunate time there. Those scouts are going to be so annoying because they keep harassing the VPs. And obviously at this point, this is just a VP game really for the blue team. Even if they dominate the military engagements, they can very easily lose this game just on those VPs. That should be a concern for them. Why have we lost our music? Don't understand it. I don't like it. Got music. Wow. Crazy music. Alright. Dreadnought's pretty low at this point, but it's getting some repairs. I don't think there's any substantial threat. Force Commander's still naked. I mean, I imagine he's going to become a Terminator Force Commander. Doom is down there on, what's that, Storm Boys? Oh my god. Seer Council tanking like crazy. Seer Council actually getting healed by the Spirit Stones, and I just noticed the Fire Prism is out of the field. Yeah, I think the blue team are going to really struggle here because... I don't know, I keep seeing everyone taking tier 3. Say they're really going to struggle now that Val is getting so many tier 3 units out, but maybe not because there is already an alt tier 3 unit out. Looks like the blue team still have superior power situation. You know, normally in a lot of these team games at this point, both players, well all the players will be floating excess power, but there's been such a crazy amount of gem bashing in this game and denial of power that isn't actually the case. Wow, Gate of Infinity forward by the Librarian there into the Devastators, very risky play. And unfortunately the play champion and the blue players were there to deal with it. Tank's taking a little bit of poke from the Fire Prism. But it backs off. 1v1, the Fire Prism will still lose. So the Fire Prism obviously must utilize its extra range. And this is where the scouts become very annoying once again. Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines having to go up to deal with that. And you know, scouts versus Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines is not really a favourite trade for the Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines. They'll win, but I mean it's just not very cost effective. Warboss being very brazen there, actually taken out by the combination of the Librarian and the State Council. One more swing and he would have actually took out the Fire Prism. Poor lad. ASM getting wiped, that's kind of huge. Look at that sync kill. Power Fist to the face and a final shot to execute the foe. Noxious Cloud did come down there, but I don't think it was too effective actually. At this point, most of the units on the red team's army are extremely tanky and got very high models, so Noxious Cloud is a lot more limited in its effectiveness. Quite curious J3 choice here, but I suppose there isn't too much else that the Eldar can get. This is one of the complaints I have about Eldar in team games. Late game infantry, very poor. We see some water spiders. You know, 5 models with 1000 HP. I just feel like in tier 3, it's really not what you want. Got State Council putting in some crazy work. Slaughtering those Storm Boys, but the looted tank comes over and persuades them to leave, like only a looted tank can. But Spider's getting precariously close here, Warboss instantly taking him out as soon as he's revived. Melee Terminators, so this is going to be very scary. Attempting to sack that Warboss and retreat, but failing, and turn their sights onto the Plague Champion. Plague Champion really needs to get out of there, I think. Risks dying to retreat with those Thunder Hammers. He's alright, he gets out. Perhaps they're going to force an attack onto the blue tank. It's actually a triple cap now against the red team. Blue team really making a great comeback here with their Chaos Terminators themselves. I was going to say perhaps they would get some lightning blows, but unfortunately they already have the autocannon upgrade, and whilst that will put some pressure on the Fire Prism and similar units, it's going to be extremely vulnerable to things like the State Council, the Hamminators, as we like to call them, from Rye. Wow, super aggressive teleport in there from the Terminators. I guess there is a Librarian nearby for the Gate of Infinity to get them into safety. Yes, there you go. A Veil of Time as well to boost their speed. Nice teleport in the end, manages to snag that loot tank. Scary, scary position for the Storm Boys to jump into there. Melee Terminators and a State Council, very dubious. We do see some knobs coming out, so I guess, yeah, both Val and M, they really want to prove the point that they're better at melee than their opponents. Autocannon Terminators there taking a huge amount of damage from melee attacks, from Smite. That TFC is indeed Terminator Force Commander. Siege Chaos Space Marine is finally moving down. Oh, it looks like at some point they actually wiped out the scouts from Riot last. They'll be really happy with that, so it takes away a lot of the BP pressure that red team could have been applying to blue team. But wow, red team have really turned things up recently, getting the blue team all the way down to 71 BPs. I think now that knobs are on the field, we probably want to see some lightning claw Terminators. That really long range special attack that he can spam with his lightning claws and disrupt these knobs very well. You see the lightning claw special attack as well as a nice 360 special attack with high damage, unlike these power fists which are just sort of eating one model away at a time, not very effective really. Loyalist Terminators only just getting back to the base. Do cost that 150 requisition, which is really, really expensive right now for Cry. What's going on up top? Tactical Marines taking that. The Siege Chaos Space Marine is going to go over and answer. They are level 4, so I think they will both level 4. Interesting, that would be a very close fight. State Council taking an engagement here. Is that an Eldritch? Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful play. Beautifully done. State Council utilising their passive knockback when they leap into combat. Noticing this choke, he places the Eldritch just before. He leaps into combat and knocks over a bunch of those units into the Eldritch. Quite lucky really for M that he got out with his knobs alive there. One knob survived from 100 HP. Which when they have got this much per model, 825 HP to survive with 100, very, very lucky. they are going to be able to reinforce and come back. We'll see what happens there. Terminators are back on the field, making a nuisance themselves. There is a Predator coming out as well. Unfortunately, Predator not really going to do that much damage to Terminators. Not only is damage concerned right now, but also capping. Capping is very important. Haywire goes down in the Predator. It's taking shots from the Prism. Don't know how long it's going to last realistically. Terminator Force Commander, here we go, Lightning Claws, look at the disruption it's doing there, ripping these 4 orcs to pieces. Fire Prism takes out the Predator, there is basically no time left. Yeah, this is just going to be a win on victory points in the end. Yeah, a bit of a crazy game actually. It's still a 1-to-1. No, not for long. Guardians should be able to cap the bottom. Nothing's contesting the top. That's going to be the game. TFC et al. Just stalling in the mid. A bit of a commiseration gift there for the Plague Champion, taking out the TFC at the end and the Farseer. But unfortunately, blue team run out of VPs after all of that. One unusual game. Very strange tactics from Valve, actually rushing tier 3 with Eldar, basically. I don't know. Perhaps that's what's forced upon you when you lose your army so much. Anyway guys, that was a chill cast. Hope you did enjoy. Please leave a like and a comment if you did enjoy. But, to be fair, that is all. Torpid out.